Alexandra Lavoie for Rebel News, and I'm currently in downtown Toronto at the Delta Hotel, where Pierre Poilievre just held a press conference. As many of you know, we are literally in pause since the Parliament have been prorogued, and right now we are in the middle of a crisis with the U.S. tariff, and the Liberals are currently doing a leadership race. On Sunday, we will know who is the candidate, but of course, everything seems to be Mark Carney. So today I came here because I think it's important that we ask the good question. We cannot trust the mainstream media, as you know. So my question to Pierre Poilievre today was about if Mark Carney should be investigated by the police for receiving a confidential briefing by Melanie Joly about the looming U.S. tariff. And I asked him also, in his own opinion, why Mark Carney is not giving any interview in media. We saw him in the U.S. media, but not in the Canadian media.
Trudeau has resigned.
Yes.
There will be new elections. When, do you know when the new elections are?
They have to be by October.
Okay.
They could come sooner.
Sooner than October?
Sooner than October, yes.
What would be the trigger of the election sooner?
Well, it would be likely the choice of the current governing party, which is the Liberal Party.
And you are of the Liberal Party?
I am of the Liberal Party, yes.
Are they looking for a new leader?
I think they might be, John.
Sir, may I recommend to you, with your charm and debonair wit, yet strong financial backbone, that you offer yourself have you offered yourself as leader?
I just started thinking about it when you brought it up.
Just now?
Yeah.
So as you know, the Conservatives are really for freedom of the press. I was able to enter here as all media. But Mark Carney and the Liberals are still doing the same thing. They are blocking independent journalists to access to their event. I don't know if you saw, but I show you some excerpt of my colleague David Menzies and my colleague Angelica Toy.
Why does Mark Carney have RCMP protection?
I need to get out. I need to get out of the way.
Then. So who are you, by the way? By the way, what do you think of Mark Carney being pro-Hamas?
So you're in my way.
Hey.
So now you got to get out of my way.
Yeah, thank you. What is that? Did you see this?
Yeah, that's assault.
Mark Carney, why did you lie about moving the head office to Brookfield? Are you friends with Ghislaine Maxwell, or is she just an acquaintance?
Why are you using police resources to help yourself get elected, Mark?
Thank you. Next question.
Bonjour, Monsieur Poilievre, Alexandra pour Rebel News. Si c'est possible de répondre à la question en français et en anglais. I was wondering, should the police investigate the fact that Mark Carney was given a confidential briefing by Melanie Joly about the looming U.S. tariff, and why, in your opinion, why Mark Carney is avoiding to speak with media?
I think we should look into these things. We should also find out. Mr. Carney has become very well known for using his political power to become more and more wealthy. He, within days of becoming an advisor to Justin Trudeau, actually after he became an advisor to Justin Trudeau, suddenly Brookfield, his company, was in the running to help in a multi-million-dollar government pension incentive. He used his political influence to try and get governments to subsidize heat pumps from which he could profit. And he's been advising Justin Trudeau for 5 years on the economy, all while he's been moving money and jobs out of our country. Why is it that no one is looking into the conflicts of interest he has already had? Is he really helping the interests of Canada when he talks to the Trudeau ministers about trade with the U.S. at the same time as he moves his headquarters to New York City? I think we need investigations into all of this. And the reason he doesn't want to answer questions from the media is because he gets caught in lies. Remember, he did a post-debate interview, and he said to all of you that he had left Brookfield when the board had made the formal decision to move the Brookfield's headquarters to New York. Well, not only was that false, The board made the formal decision when he was the chair of the board in the room holding the gavel, something he obviously would not have forgotten. It only happened a few months ago. So every time Mark Carney stands in front of the media, he gets caught in a lie, a fib, and a cover-up. He's very sneaky, and he's sneaking around the country, dodging all of your questions. You have to ask your question, you have to ask yourself the question, what is Mark Carney hiding?
In the fall, they moved their head office from Toronto to New York. Did you approve of that decision, and what does this say about your commitment to growing Canada's economy and betting on Canada as for now?
Okay. So two things. I'll just correct a few factual things. One, I was chair of Brookfield Asset Management. I ceased to be chair on the 15th, I think, of January. When I announced for leadership. Also ceased to be chair of Bloomberg as well. Ceased to be United Nations Special Envoy on Climate Action and Finance. Ceased to be a number of other things. So I resigned all my positions because I am all in for Canada, all in for this leadership, all in during this time of crisis to build our great country. Okay, that's the first thing. Second, the decision, the formal decision of the board, happened after I ceased to be on the board. I do not have a connection with Brookfield Asset Management. No longer have a role, obviously, as I resigned in the middle of January. Third thing I'd note, though, is that Brookfield has several companies that represent about 10% of the Toronto Stock Exchange. It is one of the biggest investors in this country. It is one of the biggest investors in the world. And it shows the ability of this country to build. We need more of that building here in Canada. But we need government policy in clear direction in order to do that. And that's the direction that I can bring to build Canada for the future. And it is not the direction that someone like Pierre Poilievre takes his marching orders from Donald Trump, his attack lines from the MAGA world can bring that level of investment to our country. Thank you.
We have a petition because you want an election right now. You want to have the opportunity to ask for an election, and we are giving you the opportunity to sign our petition at calltheelection.ca. It's calltheelection.ca. We want to put some pressure to launch an election right now. It's time. We have some tariff threats, so now it's time to request an election. So call theelection.ca and sign the petition.